Did Cheryl Reeve just throw Caitlin Clark under the bus? The Team USA coach's recent comments about the star rookie have fans and analysts fuming. We're breaking down the controversy that's rocking women's basketball. Cheryl Reeve set off a firestorm when she dismissed a question about Caitlin Clark's Olympic future. Why the hell would I answer a national team question? I'm wearing Lynx, Reeve snapped, igniting outrage among basketball fans and commentators alike. At the center of this storm is Caitlin Clark, the phenomenal rookie who's taken the WNBA by storm. Despite her record-breaking performances and status as the #1 overall draft pick, Clark was surprisingly left off the 12-woman Olympic roster. Many believed her impressive play warranted a spot on Team USA. This shocking snub has sparked a heated debate in the women's basketball world. We'll dive into the controversial selection process and explore why this decision has fans questioning the future of Team USA. Stay tuned as we unpack this Olympic-sized drama. The 12-woman roster for the Paris Olympics has been announced, and one name is conspicuously absent: Caitlin Clark. Despite her record-breaking performances and status as the #1 overall draft pick, Clark didn't make the cut for Team USA. This decision has left many fans and analysts scratching their heads, wondering how such a talented player could be left off the Olympic squad. The selection committee, led by Jen Rizzotti, faced intense scrutiny over their choices. Rizzotti addressed the controversy head-on, stating, "It would be irresponsible for us to talk about Caitlin Clark in a way other than how she would impact the play of the team." This comment highlights the tension at the heart of the selection process. Should players be chosen based purely on basketball criteria, or should factors like popularity and marketability also play a role? Rizzotti elaborated on the selection criteria, emphasizing that it included playing ability, position played, and adaptability to the international game. Notably absent from this list was any mention of a player's star power or ability to draw in viewers. This approach has sparked debate about whether Team USA is missing an opportunity to capitalize on Clark's immense popularity and potentially boost interest in women's basketball during the Olympics. Some analysts argue that Clark's exclusion is a missed chance to showcase one of the sport's brightest young stars on the world stage. They point to her ability to generate excitement and attract new fans to the game. With women's sports fighting for more recognition and support, the argument goes, why not include a player who could help grow the audience? On the flip side, supporters of the decision argue that Olympic basketball isn't about individual stardom. It's about fielding the most cohesive and effective team possible. They contend that the selection committee's job is to assemble a group of players who can work together seamlessly and adapt to the unique challenges of international competition. From this perspective, Clark's individual talents, impressive as they are, may not have fit the specific needs of the team at this moment. The controversy surrounding Clark's exclusion raises broader questions about the balance between tradition and innovation in sports team selection. Should established veterans always have priority, or is there value in injecting fresh talent and energy into the lineup? How do you weigh a player's potential future contributions against the immediate needs of the team? Amidst all the debate and second-guessing, one person has remained remarkably poised: Caitlin Clark herself. Rather than expressing disappointment or frustration, Clark viewed her exclusion as motivation for future opportunities. She specifically mentioned aiming for the 2028 Olympics, demonstrating a mature and forward-thinking attitude that has impressed many observers. Clark's graceful response stands in stark contrast to the heated discussion surrounding her snub. While fans and analysts argue about whether she deserved a spot on the team, Clark is already looking ahead to her next chance to represent her country on the world stage. This positive outlook not only reflects well on Clark as an individual, but also sets an example for how athletes can handle disappointment and use it as fuel for future success. The controversy surrounding Caitlin Clark's Olympic snub goes beyond just one player or one team. It touches on fundamental questions about how sports teams should be built, especially in high-profile international competitions like the Olympics. As women's basketball continues to grow in popularity and prominence, these debates are likely to become even more intense and consequential. Cheryl Reeve's coaching choices for Team USA have come under intense scrutiny, with accusations flying that she's prioritizing veteran players over emerging talent. Critics argue that Reeve's selection strategy could be jeopardizing the team's competitive edge on the global stage. At the heart of the controversy is Reeve's apparent preference for established stars like Diana Taurasi and Chelsea Gray. While these players have undoubtedly made significant contributions to USA basketball in the past, some analysts question whether they still represent the best options for the team's future success. The decision to include veterans at the expense of younger, potentially more dynamic players has raised eyebrows across the basketball community. Many argue that this approach reflects a focus on sentimentality rather than current performance, a strategy that could backfire as the level of international competition continues to rise. Reeve's critics point to the rapid development of women's basketball around the world. They argue that by relying too heavily on past achievements, Team USA risks falling behind more adaptable adaptable and innovative programs. The concern is that, while veterans bring valuable experience, they may lack the explosive athleticism and cutting-edge skills of their younger counterparts. Adding fuel to the fire, Reeve stirred up controversy with a tweet that seemed to dismiss the importance of individual star power. "The W is more than one player," she wrote, a statement many interpreted as a direct critique of Caitlin Clark and her supporters. This comment sparked backlash from fans who saw it as dismissive of Clark's immense talent and potential impact on the team. The tweet also highlighted a key debate within women's basketball: how to balance team cohesion with individual brilliance. While Reeve's statement emphasizes the importance of a well-rounded squad, critics argue that overlooking exceptional talent like Clark's could be a missed opportunity to elevate the team's performance and visibility. The long-term consequences of Reeve's selection strategy could be significant. By consistently favoring veterans over rising stars, Team USA may struggle to develop the next generation of Olympic-level talent. This could create a gap in experience and leadership when the current crop of veterans eventually retires. Moreover, there's concern that this approach might discourage young players from fully committing to the national team program. If they perceive limited opportunities to break into the Olympic squad, top college players might prioritize their professional careers over international competition. The controversy surrounding Reeve's coaching choices extends beyond just team performance. It touches on broader issues of marketability and fan engagement in women's basketball. Players like Caitlin Clark have demonstrated an ability to attract new viewers and generate. By potentially sidelining such talents, Team USA might be missing out on these to grow its fan base and increase support for women's basketball as a whole. However, defenders of Reeve's strategy argue that Olympic basketball requires a unique skill set that goes beyond individual statistics or popularity. They contend that the coach's experience and understanding of international play gives her valuable insight into which players will perform best in the Olympic environment. As the debate rages on, the pressure on Reeve and Team USA continues to mount. With the Paris Olympics on the horizon, all eyes will be on the team's performance. The success or failure of Reeve's veteran-heavy squad could have far-reaching implications for the future of USA basketball and how Olympic teams are selected. The selection committee, led by Jen Rizzotti, has found itself at the center of a firestorm. Their decision to exclude Caitlin Clark from the Olympic roster has ignited passionate debates across the basketball world. Fans and analysts alike are questioning the committee's judgment, with many arguing that Clark's exceptional talent and record-breaking performances should have secured her a spot on Team USA. Rizzotti and her team have faced intense backlash for their choices. Critics argue that, by overlooking rising stars like Clark, the committee is potentially jeopardizing Team USA's long-term success. They point to Clark's ability to generate excitement and attract new fans to the sport as a missed opportunity to grow women's basketball on the global stage. The controversy has sparked a broader discussion about the criteria used for Olympic team selection. Some argue that the committee's focus on experience and proven performance at the international level is outdated. They believe that in today's rapidly evolving basketball landscape, raw talent and potential should carry more weight. Defenders of the committee's decisions, however, argue that Olympic basketball requires a unique skill set that goes beyond individual statistics or popularity. They contend that the selection process must prioritize players who can adapt quickly to the international style of play and work seamlessly within the team structure. From this perspective, the committee's choices reflect a deep understanding of what it takes to succeed in Olympic competition. The debate surrounding the selection process has raised important questions about transparency and fairness. Many fans and analysts are calling for a more open selection process, arguing that greater clarity would help build trust and understanding between USA basketball and its supporters. Some have suggested implementing a more objective point system or holding public tryouts to make the selection process more transparent. One of the key arguments in favor of including players like Clark is the potential impact on team dynamics and performance. Supporters argue that integrating young, hungry talent into the squad could provide a spark of energy and innovation that might be lacking in a team composed primarily of veterans. They point to examples from other sports where young stars have made significant impacts in their first Olympic appearances. On the other hand, those who support the committee's decisions argue that team chemistry and experience are crucial factors in Olympic success. They contend that the pressure and unique challenges of Olympic competition require a level of poise and experience that can only be gained through years of international play. From this perspective, the committee's choices reflect a strategic decision to prioritize proven performers over potential. The controversy has also sparked discussions about the future of USA basketball and its approach to talent development. Some argue that by consistently favoring established stars, the program may be missing opportunities to groom the next generation of Olympic talent. They worry that this this approach could create a gap in experience and leadership when the current crop of veterans eventually retires. Critics of the selection process have also raised concerns about the message it sends to young players aspiring to represent their country. They argue that if rising stars perceive limited opportunities to break into the Olympic squad, it might discourage them from fully committing to the national team program. This could potentially weaken the talent pool for future Olympic cycles. As the debate rages on, the pressure on Rizzotti and the selection committee continues to mount. Their choices will be scrutinized intensely as Team USA prepares for the Paris Olympics. The performance of the selected squad will likely have far-reaching implications for how future Olympic teams are chosen. The Caitlin Clark controversy has thrust women's basketball into the spotlight, revealing deeper issues that have long simmered beneath the surface. This isn't just about one player or one team. It's a reflection of the growing pains faced by a sport at a critical crossroads. At the heart of this debate lies a fundamental question: how do we balance respect for veteran players with the need to showcase emerging talent? Team USA's decision to prioritize experience over potential has ignited passionate discussions among fans and analysts alike. Some argue that the Olympic stage demands battle-tested veterans who won't crack under pressure. Others contend that by overlooking rising stars like Clark, USA basketball risks stagnation and missed opportunities for growth. This controversy goes beyond just team selection. It touches on the very identity of women's basketball as it strives for greater recognition and support. High-profile disputes like this can be a double-edged sword for the sport's public perception. On one hand, the heated debate demonstrates the passion and engagement of women's basketball fans. It shows that people care deeply about the sport and its future. The intense scrutiny of Olympic team selection proves that women's basketball matters to a wide audience. However, there's a risk that prolonged controversy could overshadow the actual competition and achievements of the athletes. If the narrative becomes dominated by off-court drama, it may detract from the incredible skill and dedication of the players who made the team. There's a delicate balance between generating buzz and maintaining focus on the game itself. The handling of star players like Caitlin Clark has significant implications for the growth and marketability of women's basketball. Clark's explosive talent and charismatic personality have attracted new fans and media attention to the sport. Her ability to generate excitement and draw crowds is undeniable. By leaving her off the Olympic roster, Team USA may be missing out on a valuable opportunity to showcase women's basketball to a broader audience. Consider the potential impact of Clark's presence on the Olympic stage. Her highlight reel plays and record-breaking performances could captivate viewers who might not otherwise tune into women's basketball. This exposure could translate into increased interest, higher viewership, and potentially more sponsorship opportunities for the sport as a whole. On the flip side, Team USA's focus on proven veterans reflects a commitment to winning above all else. The Olympics are the pinnacle of international competition, and the pressure to bring home gold is immense. The selection committee's choices suggest they believe a team of seasoned players gives them the best shot at maintaining USA's dominance in women's basketball. This strategy raises questions about long-term competitiveness. As other nations continue to develop their women's basketball programs, relying too heavily on aging veterans could leave Team USA vulnerable in future tournaments. By not integrating young talent like Clark into the Olympic experience now, USA basketball may be creating a gap in big game experience for the next generation of stars. The controversy surrounding Clark's exclusion also highlights the evolving landscape of women's sports marketing. In an era where individual player brands can rival or even eclipse team identities, the decision to leave off a marketable star like Clark seems at odds with current trends. As women's sports fight for more media coverage and sponsorship dollars, star power can be a valuable asset in growing the game's profile. This situation forces us to consider how women's basketball can best position itself for future growth and success. Should the focus be solely on winning in the short term, or is there value in using high-profile events like the Olympics to showcase the sport's brightest young talents? Is there a way to balance these competing priorities that serves both the immediate goals of Team USA and the long-term health of women's basketball? As we look ahead to the Paris Olympics, these questions will loom large over Team USA and women's basketball as a whole. The performance of the selected squad will be scrutinized not just for their results on the court, but for what it says about the future direction of the sport. Will the veteran-heavy approach pay off with another gold medal, or will the absence of young stars like Clark be felt both on and off the court? As the dust settles on the Team USA selection controversy, all eyes turn to the upcoming 2024 Olympic Games in Paris. The women's basketball competition is set to take place from July 27th to August 11th in Lille, France, promising intense action and fierce rivalries, but the shadow of Caitlin Clark's absence looms large over Team USA's preparations. The decision to leave Clark off the roster has undoubtedly affected team dynamics. Veterans like Diana Taurasi and Chelsea Gray bring a wealth of experience, but they'll be missing the electric energy and innovative play style that Clark could have provided, this veteran-heavy lineup might struggle to keep up with younger, more dynamic international teams that have been steadily closing the gap on USA's dominance. Team chemistry is a delicate balance, and the controversy surrounding Clark's exclusion could create tension within the squad. Players might feel pressure to justify their selection over the rising star, potentially leading to forced play or an overly cautious approach. On the flip side, this shared experience of weathering public scrutiny could bring the team closer together, forging a stronger bond as they face the Olympic challenge. The absence of Clark's star power might also impact fan engagement and media coverage. Presence on the team would have drawn new viewers and generated excitement around women's basketball. Without her, Team USA may struggle to capture the same level of public interest, potentially affecting sponsorship opportunities and the overall growth of the sport. Looking beyond Paris, the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics loom on the horizon as a potential redemption opportunity for Clark. By then, she'll be 26 years old and likely in her prime, with several years of professional experience under her belt. The question is whether the selection committee will have learned from the current controversy and be more open to integrating young talent alongside seasoned veterans. Clark's journey to the 2028 Olympics won't be without challenges. She'll need to maintain her exceptional level of play and prove her ability to adapt to the international game. The competition for roster spots will be fierce, with new young stars emerging and current team members fighting to retain their positions. Clark's response to this setback will be crucial. Using it as motivation could propel her to even greater heights and make her impossible to ignore in future selections. This situation is likely to influence future selection processes for Olympic teams across all sports. The controversy has highlighted the need for a more transparent and balanced approach to team building. Future selection committees may place greater emphasis on integrating rising stars with established veterans, recognizing the value of both experience and fresh talent. The Clark controversy could lead to a reevaluation of how Team USA approaches talent development and long-term planning. There might be a push for more frequent rotation of players in international competitions leading up to the Olympics, giving younger players valuable experience on the global stage. This approach could create a deeper pool of Olympic-ready talent and ensure a smoother transition as veterans retire. The balance between veteran presence and new talent will remain a critical issue for Olympic teams. While experience is invaluable in high-pressure situations, the injection of young energy and innovative playstyles can give a team a competitive edge. Finding the right mix will be crucial for maintaining USA's dominance in women's basketball while also ensuring the long-term health of the program. As we look ahead to Paris 2024, the performance of Team USA will be scrutinized more closely than ever. Will the veteran-heavy squad prove the selection committee right by bringing home another gold medal? Or will the absence of young stars like Clark be felt on the court? The answers to these questions could shape the future of USA basketball for years to come. The Caitlin Clark controversy has exposed deep rifts in women's basketball. Cheryl Reeve's dismissive comments and the selection committee's choices have ignited fierce debates about talent development, team building, and the sport's future. This isn't just about one player, it's a pivotal moment for women's basketball as it strives for greater recognition and support. As Team USA prepares for Paris 2024, questions linger. Will the veteran-heavy squad prove critics wrong and bring home gold? Or will the absence of young stars like Clark be felt on and off the court? The answers could reshape USA basketball's approach for years to come. The ball's in their court now. How will women's basketball strike the right balance between honoring tradition and embracing innovation? The world is watching, waiting to see if this Olympic team can silence doubters and pave the way for a brighter future in the sport.